Hello, everybody. Welcome to Exile's One Portal. I am Mr. Coffee, joined by Casper. Jesus, I
You
don't know
keep
what
forget what?
the pause.
You're being disrespectful. You kind of are.
No, I don't know. I don't know what the pause was for. I kind of like because okay, so we were having a conversation, and
Yeah, yeah.
you kind of like I heard that things were rolling, and then as we're doing that,
I
I'm
I
looking up my
did prep
example
you.
that I'm gonna pull up.
Yeah, yeah,
Right, but I'm looking up my
yeah.
example that I'm gonna pull up for the conversation that we have,
Okay. So I guess let me
and
preface it. Let me preface it. So I I don't know how to preface this honestly. So I had I think for the very first time in my life I felt old because not old in performance like I couldn't get it up. I mean I couldn't kill someone because I don't have the quick react time on a shooter. But because for the very first time I looked at all my options of what to play, and it legitimately got me nauseous of just thinking of what to play. Like I had an unlimited amount of options of what I could play, and I didn't really feel like playing anything. Now, eventually, I did end up playing a survival game and kind of just like got lost in it for a few hours, and then came back. But I just kind of was like so many different choices. And I was just like, oh, like none of this really feels fun anymore. And then I started to explore that feeling, and I got this like from the pit of my stomach. I got this like realization or maybe like conclusion of like, damn, is gaming reaching its apex of almost like a dying star of like the way I think about this is like a dying star where it's its brightest and its hottest right when it's about to blow up. Like that's kind of where I think like he's aiming at that point right now where there's so many different choices, there's so much going on that it's just like, oh, am I just having like a weird old man?
I don't even know if this is like an old man thing because just as a reminder, how old are you?
Hey, hey, you put my business out there, man.
Nah, fuck this. I'm about to
Put
say it.
my
I'm just about to
business
say
out
my age too. Shut up, just go.
there.
How old are you?
um, I'm about to turn 37.
All right, I'm 34. You're not that much older than me.
Nah,
We're the same general generation. I just hardcore fucking disagree with you, dude.
I
Like,
my wife. I just want just some context out there. My wife hit me with the "you're almost 40."
oh yeah,
Um,
so what? So
Nah,
the
but
fuck
she
what,
no,
bro?
but
Like,
she no, but that shit hurt. That shit hurt. When it's
then
coming from someone you love.
get your pride untangled with your age then.
It's just
Like,
something
cause
about hitting those
that's a
landmarks.
weird, nah, bro. I don't understand people in these fucking
It
landmarks. I really
hurts,
don't,
bro. Just like
bro. What the fuck
I'm
is the
almost.
difference between 39 and 40? You went one
It's
more
not.
time around the sun.
It's not,
Time is a
bro.
man-made construct. Yes, it is, bro. It's a
It's like when you
man-made
feel it on your
construct.
knees. Shit. What
Bro,
a
that's just
construct.
getting older. Everybody does it. Everybody does it. It's universal.
It sucks, bro. It sucks.
S-
It's
Then
the.
say that.
It
Don't sit
sucks.
there and be like, "Oh, I'm losing interest in gaming, so gaming is
No.
dying." Dude, people
they're
sat
not.
there and said that shit
They're
about World
not.
of Warcraft. Nah, people said that shit about World of Warcraft in 2007, bro.
They're not related though, right? They're not related. They
No,
just.
but it's no, it is related because you're like doom saying because you're uninterested or all the
I
games that are there are all within the same interest
all right.
level
I
and you're
feel
just
like
kind of
I'm
like whatever, nothing's excited. Like
okay. So I feel like I'm getting attacked for my beliefs here, and I don't think it's fair. The reason I brought it to you, in all fairness, was just I need you to like confirm. Am I bugging here? Like, was it just me? Like, that's why we have friends, right?
I know.
So you
And
don't
I
have these like ri ri sometimes ridiculous thoughts in our minds that sometimes we're perceiving situations and feelings in a way where they're not necessarily accurate.
but
But
this is why I harp on it the way I do though. Is because I want
you
you to know
yell
the
at me
way
because
I
you
feel it. I
care.
think it's silly. Yeah, because I think it's silly. I think the thing that you're worrying about now is so fucking silly. It's like if you've heard a fucking 21-year-old talking about, oh my god, dude, the boogeyman, he's under my bed, man. It's just like, no, man, just
Well,
out of all the time that we've been alive, gaming has always done a thing where it's never done, right? There are a
Mhm.
lot of people who are like, "Oh man, dude, fucking Mario Kart 64, that's the pinnacle. It's never going to get better than that." They were wrong. Whether they still feel that way, they were wrong. Fucking there's a lot of beautiful games coming out. Spider-Man came out. Dude, I haven't played it. I understand it's a good
Listen,
game. It's
are
it's
you a
a
fan?
marvel of engineering
Are you a fan of uh
software programming.
wait
But
wait
yeah.
wait wait what's that called? Wait, what's it called? Airbending. What's Avatar?
Avatar?
Are you a fan of Avatar?
The original series was
The
pretty good, yeah.
cartoon. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, I was just happen to peruse YouTube, and there's apparently a VR um
Avatar
game,
game?
Avatar game. Yeah, but it's n-
Oh, that's so sick.
it's only about the earth bending,
That makes sense, kind
right?
of.
So
It like only in the sense of like doable.
it's in right now, like in its beta, whatever, and it's only for VR. And I seen a video of it, bro. Like I was like, bro, I would get a VR set just to play this game.
Bro, have you ever seen Ghost Runner?
Yes, I have. Yes.
I would kill to play that in VR.
It, the problem with VR one, it's too expensive.
Expensive. Yep.
It's the video library right now that it currently has is
Not
not
huge.
it's not huge, and they're not cross-platform. So
Well,
let's.
actually, so funny enough,
Am I
I'd
wrong?
really like to. I'm sorry. No, you're actually not wrong. But I'd
Okay.
like to remind you of something that happened back in the day that kind of mirrors this. Do you remember when PlayStation 3s came out? How much they were?
Nah. Wait.
They were like
700?
they were like $700, dude.
Yeah, I think. Okay, I remember that.
When they first came
Because I
out,
know the
they
PlayStation
came.
2 came out about 400.
Yeah, and when the library was
By the way,
shown
this
for
was like 10,
PS3
15 years
games.
ago, by the way.
Well, obviously, yeah. But the library of games that came out with the PS3 was not very big, and people were like, "Well, they're saying they literally said the same thing that I'm saying right now is about to say. It is probably way harder to program for VR than it is for something where you have a set camera angle.
Yes. Yes.
That's probably gonna take a little
I mean,
while
that's what
before
happened to video
people get
games,
used
right?
to the
That's what happened to
right.
video games when they get when they went from Pong to like Mario.
Right. It's just like we
Okay,
haven't developed the tools to make
that's a
it
really bad
easy.
example because Mario was
But I
2D
get you.
too, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like 3D
But I
Mario.
understand you, yeah. Like I understand what you mean exactly. Like it's just the leap of logic and the amount of coding that needs to support that
hmm
extra dimension of being, essentially.
And again, and I don't. Damn, I wish I could remember you know, if you remember the name of the game, if you know the name of the game, please drop it in the comments. But I don't remember the name of the game, and I want to give it. I want to give it some. I think the name of the company that make it is Metal Bucket or something Bucket. But it's basically earthbending as you would imagine earthbending. Like you stomp the ground, the rock fall comes up in the
It's called
air.
Rumble.
Rumble. God, that was way too quick. Um,
Literally earthbending VR game.
Damn Google is listening to us. Um,
No, I pulled it up. I don't. It's not listening to us. I'm
so
looking that
yeah,
shit up.
it's like it's exactly what you would imagine it to be, and it looks like graphically wise, you're not gonna get like a cyberpunk, you know. No, it's just
No,
simple. It's gameplay, and I'm getting off topic a little bit here because we're getting rambling now. But so I say this because um to bring it back to the main topic is because I've been following what's happening right now with like the gaming market. So I've been feeling like this because of the whole. It first started with the RGB, and this is the old man moment right now. So, like when RGBs was like picking up and it took off and everything was RGB this and you get the RGB version of it. I kept thinking of something like that's so stupid. Why would I pay $100 more for RGB? Like I don't care about that. Just give me all black components and like let me play some video games. That's what it's about. And I never understood it. Then I finally just dipped my toe in RGB. And I'm saying here like low key like I want RGB everything. Right? But then I'm sitting here and I've been following the prices because I'm in the market now to get a new graphics card, right?
well, right now is
Terrible
just not
time.
the time.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it's just not
god.
the time.
Like I just seen the news about what's going on with the 5070 Ti, and like I'm in consuming so much content from some the the usual sources, gamers, Nexus, and J2 Sense, and a few others, and it's just like, what's happening with this AI shit, and like the components for PCs are just astronomical right now when it comes to pricing, and it's just like, and it's only two companies that make these components. Like, we're not talking about the difference between ASUS and MSI. We're talking about like Nvidia is the only one that makes chips, and then AMD makes a little bit of chips, and that's it. Like, there's no other company that makes these chips. So it's like, if you legitimately want a graphics card or you want to make a gaming computer, you have to go to these two companies. Is the fact that these two companies have not been hit with antitrust lawsuits, to me, is mind-boggling. But of course, we
Yeah.
live in the we live in uh
I'm just gonna let you know, in this here Trump's a fucking America, you're not gonna see businesses take any kind of hit.
nah, but I'm not gonna. It's not even a political thing, because I think
Well, it actually kind of is,
it
but
is. Is oh,
it's
everything is, but
especially right now with all of the executive orders and a lot of things being repealed, dude. The the billionaires have already
but it
made
was but it was
way more money, much
but
more
that
money, bro.
but the
Like companies are
Nvidia
gonna follow suit.
but Nvidia's been like this since Obama, bro.
It's probably like, yeah, but the thing is
Nvidia's
now
been busting ass.
it's getting
It
worse.
I mean it's ramping the
don't
fuck
get
up,
me
but
don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it hasn't been happening, but I'm gonna say right now, if you were hoping that,
it's gonna get
maybe
better.
next year was gonna be the year to buy a decent graphics card, no, you're just wrong. Especially with the things going on right now, it's
Yeah,
gonna get worse. If you're consuming fucking anything, it's gonna get worse.
yeah. Um,
You want to buy a car in the next few years?
so the
Yeah, I'd wait.
so the conclusion to that, so me listening to this and then me seeing the video games or whether video games, a, a typical AAA game is increasing in price, so $70 to $89. That's a typical AAA game. Not that saying that you don't. Oh, you could play indie games or whatever. You don't have to play AAA games. Okay, fine. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. But even those are coming in prices. Most early access games right now I'm seeing are between $25 to $30. Every now and then
Yeah,
you'll
but
get lucky. You find a free to play game that's Delta Force and a few others that are like,
I was literally just about to bring up
yeah,
Delta Force. You're like, it's free as fuck,
that
bro.
are
Like,
like competitively decent and good. And even Once Human, that
Once
are,
Human is
yeah.
good,
So
Aviotic
yeah, you'll
Factor.
be able to find some
But
of those.
Aviotic Factor was a pay for game, so I can't pull that.
But it was decently
Fucking, but
priced. It was decently priced.
even though like Master Duel, like, I this is the thing, right? This is why I kind of feel like I disagree with you, like
Well,
fundamentally, as far as the gaming thing. I think we just kind of have to change our views about it a little bit. Fuck these AAA games. We shouldn't be buying them.
but what do you
Honestly,
tell
no, no,
what do
no.
you tell
Even
my son? What do you tell my son who is trying to get into PC? Well, he's trying to get into video games. Should he not buy a PC because it's called a starter PC when I came into the game back when I was 15 cost me $600 to get in, including a graphics card. Now, granted,
so
they're not what they are. The games are not what they are now. Now,
so wait. You remember how much you paid for my upgrades?
yeah,
Or well,
but you
not
already,
you paid, but
but okay, but that was only three components.
right. No, but I'm talking more like, if you wanted a starter PC, something basically able to play CS:GO, a little bit of League of Legends, some
Yeah,
fucking,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, dude, you don't
You need a
need a
graphics card.
graphics card.
Yes, you do.
No, you
Yes,
don't.
you do.
Not to play
Yes, you do.
League of Legends. Bro, I know for a fact. My little brother's computer, no graphics card, integrated graphics, plays League of Legends. Promise you. I guarantee. Like, this is not a.
So
I
you're saying that I'm
heard
looking at this from a
you're trying to, like,
1%er fucking point of view.
not 1%, not 1%er, 10%er.
Because I don't see a valid PC without a graphics card. I don't. That shit doesn't exist to
And
me.
again, that's like a very elitist kind, not even like elitist, more of just like a connoisseur's look at that, right? Like, for instance, like if me and you were to making the same kind of like equation for something that I'm really passionate about, like say weed and like bongs and rigs. Someone might be like, you could just get like a little $5 pipe and just hit it out of that. And I'm like, no, dude, what? Fucking all of my glass is $70 or more.
All right.
That's
So
what you're
let's go
doing.
one level down and go coffee.
So if that's the case, then
Where do you get your grounds
so
from?
I get mine from fucking Folgers, bro, because it's relatively cheap. I love
Locally
decent
sourced.
coffee. It's not locally sourced. Like every now and again,
No, I
I'll
mean you
go
go
and
to
I'll
a
splurge on.
supermarket. You go to a supermarket and get it. Like
Yeah, fair.
it's not like it's you don't have to like go to Colombia, drive. You know what I mean? Like I've heard some crazy stories about what people do to get coffee grounds. Like
Yeah, there are some interesting levels of connoisseurship, but that's kind of my point. Is like you have a dude that only drinks the fucking fresh beans from Arabica coffees that are like served via sieves and shit, and you hand him a cup of Folgers, he's gonna spew that shit back in your
it's like what
face.
is this commoner
What is
bullshit?
this? This isn't even coffee. And you're doing the same thing. This isn't even a PC without a graphics card. Like there are cards with integrated graphics in them. No, they're probably not going to be able to run like super high resolutions. They're probably not going to be able to run in 4K. Obviously, they're probably not going to be able to run on fucking high or medium
I
graphics. They
wouldn't.
might have to have a whole bunch of low settings.
I don't.
I like
I wouldn't want to do like. I wouldn't want to do this for this channel, right? I wouldn't want to do it, but I would love to like. And someone's gonna steal this idea, and if you do, just give me credit for it. I'm fine with that. Um, like have a channel, but not a channel for like the latest and greatest shit.
just budget builds.
Just like super, just like you know they have the car channels that like put together like crazy,
Linus Tech Tips does that.
but like bad cars
No, they do. Linus Tech Tips does that. They have a fucking whole series about it. They do one,
to
I think,
put
like once
together
a year.
bad PCs and make them work.
Yeah, well, not bad PCs, but they put together parts from like really, really cheap parts that aren't very good to
I've
see
seen a
how
few
good of a
videos that
PC.
they get like parts from Walmart or China or Temu or whatever, and then
Yeah,
see if they
like
work. That's
I
not what
think
I
that's
mean though, and that's not what I mean. I meant like a whole channel about like putting like they find a PC in like somewhere, and they're like, all right,
okay.
what do
So
you need
I
to
want you
make
to
this
think
work?
about this. I want you to think about this fucking logistically for a moment, right? After a year of doing that, how much room do you think you're gonna need for fucking PC cases, PC box, PCBs, and
I know you
like
need a
all the
warehouse. Yeah, you need
yeah.
a
So no, fuck
warehouse.
that.
Yeah,
So
you need
straight
a
up, fuck that.
warehouse.
No, someone
Like you
else
would
could
have
do
to
it. I
give it
don't care.
away. You have to give it away the PC game. Like I would like it's like a opposite of Pimp My Ride where you get together, you get some loose connections together, and then you be like, all right, you put it together just to be able to play. Let's set a metrics. The metrics is like be able to play. Give me a game. Give me a game that's like this like middle ground of PC gaming.
Aviotic factor.
That's not a middle ground of PC gaming,
It's pretty low.
but it's not very popular. No one.
Who the
Uh,
fuck
League
cares?
of
I'm not
Legends. League of Legends.
fine,
Okay, League of Legends. And now
bro.
maybe
I could run
Marvel.
League of Legends on a toaster.
Okay, that's fine. And that's the point, right? If you can run League of Legends at let's say 30 FPS, that's fair.
There was a while I was playing at like 21 for
Okay,
like
okay.
stable.
So range of 30, average of 30 FPS, just for the sake of this conversation. That if you can reach that point, then that's your finished build. That's it. Boom. That's it. PC done. Like it could be buying an old graphics card. It could be like putting a GTX a 480 in there, whatever. Anything you can find from the junkyard, you can put it together and it works. And then you take that PC and give it away to someone as a starter. Like that's the level of poverty right now that we're discussing because like right now a 5070 Ti is debuting at almost nine hundred
It's a
dollars.
brand new fucking graphics card, bro. How much is a 3090 right now?
A 3090? That's what you said, 3090?
Yeah, I'm
I don't even
curious.
know. I don't think they're in the market no more.
They're gonna be in the market somewhere, bro.
No, I mean eBay secondhand, and they're gonna pay $1,000, $2,000 for that shit.
I'm curious. This is what I'm looking for.
It's funny because we haven't even talking about P Path 2. Path. We're 20 minutes in. Maybe we could wrap this up into the bonus episode.
So, how much were 3090s when they released?
At 3090 when it's released, I believe it was like $1,500 MSRP. About I could be wrong though, but it was I think about
So
15 or
the
16.
5070 is cheaper than the 3090, but that's probably normal, right? Because that's not the right. We're not comparing the same thing.
Yeah,
So we've
yeah,
got to compare the 3070.
yeah. 3070
All right, dude, bro, you can get a fucking 3070 for like $370.
from where? eBay?
Yeah,
Used?
yeah. You also new for 450 that are still in the wrapping. Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, Mr. Elitist, I don't like buying fucking like used parts.
You
Yeah, I get it.
legit, so you legit buy used parts. That's
I
a whole
did
different
with
conversation.
mine.
You bought it from a trusted source. That's different.
My
Like I
original
would
parts
buy a PC.
also.
I would buy a PC parts from like a dude I know. It's like, damn, what? I was gonna use a very bad analogy for this one. I was gonna say like I would date my best friend's girl because like I know where she's been at. You know what I mean?
All right,
that's
fine. Here,
that's a
Amazon
terrible.
Prime, Amazon Prime, EVGA, GTR's 3070, Ultra Gaming, blah blah blah, $480
That's still a lot. $500.
for a 3070, bro. That's
That's
technically better
two
than my graphics card.
generations old though.
Yes, but it's not a 60. It's not a 60 series. You can get a 3050 for fucking 180, dog.
I mean, 30. If you're gonna go, okay, so if you want to go with a
It's
3050,
it's a six gigabyte.
here's
It's
my
a six
personal opinion.
gigabyte
Wait, here's my personal
DDR6
opinion.
memory fucking
Here's my
graphics
personal
card.
opinion. If you go with anything under a 70, 50, 70, 40, 70, 30, 70, beyond, whatever. If you're considering going anything under that, don't. And just go to integrated graphics. The reason I say that is because what you're going to get for graphics is not any marginally better for what you're going to do.
I don't I don't agree. I think that my 4060 is fine.
But you can say so if you get yourself an integrated graphics and save the money you're going to get for whatever that latest 50 or 60 is, right? Save the money and you can always upgrade to a graphics card even with the integrated graphics CPU.
Nah.
Yeah,
I don't think that's gonna be better.
but that's what I did.
I don't think that's gonna be better.
Now, I mean, when I did it, it was a different. I did it with
I
the
feel
460 series, right? I had a 460 series, and then I didn't upgrade until the 1080.
right, but this is my thing, right? So I don't think that's better. I think having a dedicated tool for a specific thing is going to be better than integrated almost no matter what.
Yeah, but it depends
It
on the capabilities of the cards, and I mean, I don't know
So
about the 500
you're
series.
telling me right now that a fucking integrated graphics card is going to do a job better than a
I'm
3050?
I'm mid grade, and not all integrated graphics cards are created equal, but a mid grade
So
to
you're recommending that someone goes and buys a maybe something that you have to do
mm,
extra research on rather than just getting a 3050.
if
Nah,
you're
dude.
building your own
You're
PC, you're already doing
bro,
this. You're kind of
I
already doing
don't
a lot.
think that's a
You
good recommendation.
look if you buy yourself a 30 a 70 wait what's it called? Damn it, a 7800 X3D with integrated graphics or a something like a mid to top tier um integrated graphics either Intel or especially Intel because Intel does a really fucking good job at integrated graphics because they make them both for commercial and also for entry level PC. So they got that down packed, that integrated graphics, sorry. But AMD's modest too. If you get yourself an integrated graphics mid to high grade, so you spend an extra $100 on that CPU component, right? Save yourself the 300-400 MSRP for the 3080 or the 40 series. Save yourself that cash, right? Put it in an account somewhere and then save up a little more cash. You're gonna be able to afford that either the 70 or the 80 within a month or two. Especially if you're consistently saving and just trying to put your coins. Now, if you don't have the money to begin with, you don't think you'd have the money in 3, 4, 5 months, then yeah, fuck it, buy a 60, whatever. Like I don't know your
if you're
situation.
gonna if you're just gonna save up for a fucking graphics card later anyway, just get a lower graphics card and have it handled separately. You don't have to go for a fucking banger CPU that's fucking rocking
Yeah,
$500, $600 by
but
itself.
your life, the life of like if you
You
get
said that
yourself.
you're already upgrading.
No, I meant from no graphics cards to a graphics card.
Is better.
Yeah,
Just having a graphics card is just better. Just get a graphics card. I don't know. I don't understand why you would go integrated graphics. I
because
understand if like you're using
so
it only
you're
to like browse the internet. If it's an internet browser, yeah, sure, fine. Integrated graphics all day.
because what I'm trying to tell you is that you're, and I could be wrong about this. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'll finish with this. Is that the life you get out of a, let's go up to 70, 3080 is what I have. I know for a fact that my 3080 might start getting older, maybe 5 to 6 years from now. Now, I'm already at a 3080, and I'm still saying that it's gonna get older in 5 to 6 years. A 4060, it's already showing its age. That's because of the way they make them. Not necessarily they wear and tear and they blow up. No, no, no. They're not made to last more than a few years when it comes to like the graphical demand for video games. So you're more likely better to save up for a 80 series if you're thinking about being able to afford something in 5 to 6 or maybe 8 years, because it's gonna run most things within that time frame, and even after that, it's just gonna like. All right, you need to notch me down just one notch, bro. Like I can't take that no more. Like after 10 years, you're gonna have to go from ultra to high, and that's so we're talking about a decade of
Bro,
performance versus maybe 4 to 5 years at tops.
all I'm saying is with Delta Force on virtually max fucking settings, I'm not capping my graphics card. My fucking thermals are fucking fantastic. My CPU never goes above 61 degrees Celsius. I'm running a 4060. I don't know what you're talking. Like I understand if you're trying to go for like these AAA super big ass fucking like what was it? Jedi Fallen Order on maximum settings. But for most everyday gaming, your piece, dude, this is why I remember telling like when we were doing the whole deal for the PC parts and I was like, dude, your shit is just like overkill in compared to what I was even like like even thinking about getting. Like that's you
I do suffer a little bit from that 10%er
I'm
enthusiast.
just being real. I
I do
really do
suffer from
think
it a
that
little
you're
bit.
looking at this like as an enthusiast, bro. Yes, as an enthusiast, you're right. You get a more expensive fucking integrated graphics, wait a month or two and buy the $500, $600 graphics card. But in reality, for most people who are not in that way, who
I think
maybe
that,
have $600 for the PC,
but I do think that the definition of everyday gamer, that definition is very uniquely to each individual because we don't know what type of games you like to play. Like for an everyday gamer who likes to play like a Yu-Gi-Oh trading card on PC, you will never need a graphics card.
right?
But again, if you're the type of player who likes to play like AAA games, you're going to need something with kick. Like it's just, unfortunately, people they don't make AAA games for the daily consumer. They just don't. Not anymore. Like they juice those games
Mm,
up to the tits, and
Not
oftentimes,
even what it is right now. I feel like a lot of single player games are suffering through a fucking plague of what like Ubisoft's been doing. So like they'll release an Assassin's Creed, right?
oh,
And then they say, "Oh my god, there's
Dragon
800
Age,
hours of content."
Dragon Age.
Yeah, 800 hours of content. Well, you go and you're like, "All right, well,
It's
let's
the
go and kind of like
same
start."
content over and
The
over
first 15
and
hours
over
might be great,
and over and over and over.
and then it's just going to every little piece of the map to go and exhaust dialogue and collect a little stupid piece of paper that they put on a desk somewhere. Like that's the plague that I see in gaming right now. But at the same time, things out like this is just like there are still games out there that are still trying to come out and do good shit, right? That's the positive. And you know what? Hopefully we as humans can separate the nostalgia factor from seeing what we should be and not be buying. Guys, look, do we really have to be fucking giving them money for remakes every fucking 2 years for games that we played in the 90s or the early 2000s?
Which remake you're
If they
referring to?
if they remake Modern Warfare 2, are you really going to do it? Like, are you
I
fucking serious? Like,
I
you're not
think
even gonna try to demand them to fucking make something new?
I
Like,
think that the level of fuckboys that are
God, the fucked up
being
thing is look,
spawned every generation is what's the problem, right? Because see, the fuckboys that we grew up with, right? They're not our age, right? But the problem is that every 10 years there's a new generation of fuckboys being spawned into Earth, right? And we're looking at the young ones like, don't play Call of Duty. The game already came out, but they haven't played it, right? We did, but they haven't. They're just barely 13, 14 for the first time
yeah,
being able to afford their first
nah,
getting.
I disagree because what is the first fucking thing that I see is these fucking YouTubers who played the last three of them. Your
Again, they're trying to
your
make their money.
your
Their
argument
their
your
previous
argument falls upon deaf ears, bro.
no, no, it doesn't. No, it
On mine,
doesn't.
it does.
Because
You you are
those
not
are
gonna tell me.
those
You're
are
not gonna tell me that the people who build up the nostalgia year after fucking year aren't the ones doing this shit. Then why are they always remakes, bro? Why isn't it just
so you're
fucking
blaming you're
Crash Bandicoot's
blaming
cousin?
the
Why
independent
isn't it
small business owner.
for what? When did I bring up the small business owner
That's
for
what they
shit?
are. That's what they are. The streamers are small business owners.
No, they're the consumer. I'm blaming the consumer.
If they're streaming and they're making money, they're a small business.
But they're also consuming the thing. Just because it's a business doesn't mean it doesn't consume.
True, but the purpose they're consuming is for the purpose of their business, which
And
is
also, side
game
note,
media.
we cannot equate streaming and shit to the same business as a fucking brick and mortar store. Come on, get the fuck out of here. I'm not putting fucking
All right,
small
bro. All right,
streamers
bro.
into small business. I'm not doing that.
Bro, I'm trying to get a small business loan. Like, come on, like
I
you
under
gotta
I
stay with me
that's
here.
fair. Like
Like, what the fuck?
like it's look at
I'm gonna
I
go to this
understand that
bank
it
and you're
has
gonna
a
argue against me, like us getting a loan for this shit. Like, bro, what
like
the?
no. This is that my point being is you can't look at them in the same metrics. You just can't.
But
I don't believe you can
when you
because
put it on
unlike
when you put it down on paper though, it's still considered a small business based on the size and the amount of employees and all that stuff. Like Linus, for example, isn't a small business because he has over 30
and he's
employees.
also not a small streamer either. Like a lot of these bigger
But he
streamers
used to
are
be.
not small.
But he used to
Right,
be.
but the thing is once you go like again,
If it's one dude, one camera.
bro, first of all, you add like the weird mom and pops on there to make it seem
I
like,
didn't.
oh
No,
no, they're just like
I just say he's a small bit. Well, the point I was trying to say is that they're once you cross over that threshold, right, and you become media, because that's what you are. You're media. You're now no longer.
and I don't consider media normal business either.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm just
I
saying
don't you can't tell me
once you
I
cross
will
that
not say
threshold
that Amazon
between.
and CNN have the same kind of fucking deal.
But
Ever.
I'm just saying that once you pass that threshold from you being just a regular wool and die consumer of like I buy this game because I enjoy it, I play it, and then I go to sleep, to you trying to establish a business by streaming, by giving reviews, giving your thoughts, and thinking that your word is important in some way, right? Then at that moment, you're no longer, I don't consider you a traditional consumer. You're now trying to go into that realm of media. Now, if you're still perpetrating, trying to, make money off of that, that's fine. But what I'm trying to say is that they're now pushing their nostalgia not on on everything else, but on the new generations coming up, like you said about them now having. Well, you enjoyed that game back when it came out, but now it came out for the first time in my lifetime as a 30-year-old. Maybe I should pick it up
Then why have I never once heard this happening, right? So I understand that there's young kids that play video games all the time, and they're not even
because you
really the
don't
ones
know
that
no
I'm
young
talking about.
people,
But wait,
bro.
Wait, what are you talking about? I know three.
Who are
I
these
know
people, bro?
three
Who the fuck
very
are
young
they?
people that are underneath 18.
They're
Actually, one
lying
of
to
them
you,
just
bro.
turned.
They're,
Actually, one of them just turned 19.
those are not young
But
people, bro.
get the fuck out of here. First of all, young people don't have like the money to buy anything, so their
Their
opinions don't really matter.
parents.
They're just asking, right? They're just asking mommy and daddy give me the thing. So I don't give
That's
a
what
fuck
we
about their mom.
did.
But no,
So as a
you
young
did. I
lad,
had to do. I had to do all the work for shit that I wanted to fucking earn.
but you just still ultimately had to ask mom and dad, grandma, whoever to buy you a video game.
I had to do job. I had to work.
So
I had
you
to
went
do
to the
that job
coal
for.
mine. You went to work in a coal mine.
Nope, I became a maid for days. That's what I did.
So you did
Like
chores.
we all had our oh no, because chores is like take out the trash and do this and do this. Like nah, I was doing shit like clean out the fucking whole garage. Like all right,
All right, you had extreme levels of your extreme levels of
that shit was
chores.
work. Fuck off. Extreme level of chores is called work.
Wash the
like
car.
like real shit, like shit that my like parents actually did themselves, and I just like volunteered because I actually wanted to make money. I didn't make an allowance, like just because I did like
They
little
taught you a
things. That was like
valuable
my
lesson.
food.
They taught you a valuable
Yes,
lesson.
I had
Money
to,
don't grow on
like
trees, bro.
they were like, you're eating, therefore, you do chores, and if you want to do extra shit, you can do that to get yourself some money, and that's what I did. But it's one of those things where like you look at all the people who end up fucking buying these games over and over and over. There's the same NBA 2K every fucking year. There's the same fucking Modern Warfare coming out every fucking year, and they go between Black Ops and Modern. Like, bro, the nostalgia factor is the thing driving this, and you cannot tell me
It's
otherwise.
not
You're not.
nostalgia. I think it's the FOMO.
Nah, bro.
I think it is what it is. I think
I think
if
that's what sells
once,
skins. I think that's what sells skins and cosmetics. I think nostalgia is the reason they buy it.
I mean,
The reason why
I
people
think
keep
growing
going
up,
back to World of Warcraft is because they keep thinking maybe this one will be like
but
Wrath.
with growing up though, peer pressure as a teenager was a real fucking thing, right? And if everyone in my high school is either playing a certain video game or wearing a specific something, me not having that makes me a target. Makes me a social
Yeah,
pariah.
yeah, but the thing is I don't know. For instance, right? There was like a good fucking. I understand the clicks that you're talking about of gathering amongst us, but guess what? There's always been an Xbox click, and there's always been a PlayStation click, and there's always been fucking PC clicks. I'm sorry, you being ostracized from one and accepted by another doesn't make it
I
extra
mean, I
special.
don't think they're bullying people for not playing Call of Duty, but but
I
I
agree.
but
It does, it affects your social standing, but the thing is there are cliques that form around both. It's not like, oh my god, all these Call of Duty players only talking shit to people who are not because you have a lot of people like me who talk shit about COD players. Like there's cliques that form around gaming. It's just a normal thing. You can't tell me that, oh, that's a special. No, that's the thing that we all grow up with, even now, right? Fucking, what do we always make fun of our mutual friend for doing?
Alex.
Like,
Okay, for a second I'm like, who the hell is our mutual friend? I'm like,
so
wait, what is he doing? Damn it, I'm trying to remember.
Minecraft. Like, don't get me started, bro. We're bullies too. Don't start. We're all this way. We're all
But
gamers.
you know why I okay, so you know why this where this
No,
comes from.
no, 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 no. Hold up. You're justifying. don't don't do that. Don't lower yourself to the need of justifying.
No, no,
We're
no, no,
gamers,
no.
and that's all it needs to
I'm
be.
explaining my origin. I'm explaining my origin story of why I became this villain. Everyone needs to know the origin story, right? This kid has been obsessed. This kid, I say kid like he's not 30. This kid has been obsessed. He's 6 years older than me, so he's a kid. Um, he's been obsessed with Hytale for as long as I've known him. Oh, as long as Hytale been a thing. And Hytale has been was created based on this very similar image of Minecraft. Now, I don't care whether you play Minecraft or any other game. If you like it, I'm fine with it. I don't care. But what he does is a step different. What he does is mods Minecraft to emulate Hytale as close as possible, and then sits there and kind of denies it and be like, "Oh, bro, well, we have a bigger passive tree than Path of Exile." And I sit there like, "Bro, you playing Minecraft? What are you saying?" "Oh, but we have more quests." And I'm like, It's like he's like a crack at it in denial.
So, but this is the thing, like your view and my view is the same view that some people have against COD players or certain COD players have against fucking mobile gamers or bro,
Wait, that's the thing.
it's gaming.
Mobile gamers.
What? What the fuck do you mean?
I don't
You
think
see, this is literally my fucking point. You sit here and you mock something. You've never heard of like Bejeweled, fucking Clash of Clans, or all these games that fucking people be playing on their shit. Some people take it very fucking seriously and consider themselves very much gamers, and I do too, because they're playing a video game.
okay.
Like, this is my point. It's everywhere. There's no super special ostracization coming from particular people doing. We all just ostracize each other because we all look down on other sections of gaming for some reason. We all like to think that our chosen thing of gaming is excellent, which we play Path. It is excellent.
This is the renaissance. This is the renaissance of video games. When we
It's just
can
a lot.
nitpick different types of video games. Back when they had only one sport ever played, which was the Marco Polo one, where horse and you had to like hit the ball.
Yeah,
Like back when that was the only sport ever existed. When someone
golf.
tried to create like another kind of sport, you looked at them like, what the fuck is that bullshit? That's not sport. That's some you doing stick and ball shit. Like get out of here. Let's play a
Exactly.
real sport.
It the thing is bro, we're all gamers, right? If you're someone who wants to buy AAA shit and have that weird shit spoon down your fucking throat that way, go ahead, do it. I don't
But
care.
if you are understand this that your expense level, you're choosing the expensive lane of video gaming, right? Like what you're going to the rig that you're going to need to really play some of these games, AAA games, and an adequate level. I'm not talking about high. I'm not talking about ultra.
But now this is why so many people have consoles because they don't have to think about it. And all they want to do is pay for a thing and play.
And I think that's a really for and I guess going full circle for this conversation, so we can nip it in the bud and talk about path, is that for the longest 10 years I've been saying that fuck a console, just buy yourself a PC, right? Go down that route, you're gonna have much better time, blah 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 blah. For the very first time in 10 years and 10 15 years, I'm actually saying the opposite, right? The opposite is now probably the best thing to do right now to get yourself your feet wet with PC gaming is actually ironically to buy a console.
Honestly, bro, it's probably been that way forever. PCs have always been either more difficult or slightly more expensive or require a slightly different knowledge set or bro, it's always been that way. There's always been a barrier to PC gaming that if you're not either if you don't have the time to learn or don't have the motivation to learn, it's just going to look daunting to you and you're just going to not and you're just going to buy the
This will
box that they
turn
say will play everything.
this will turn into a whole hour episode if I go down this route, but I strongly disagree with you only because people have made this argument when it comes to the cost of peripherals, right? That makes PCs tend to be more expensive than um, consoles because what we used to have back, and I'll say this, what we used to have back in the early 2000s and 80s and 90s and whatever, depending on how old you are, is that most households had a TV as a main staple of entertainment for most families. So consoles kind of came in like a oh, you also get this, right? And you can play video games instantly. But I think in the year 2025 now, TVs aren't as common in most households anymore. Are now becoming more and more expensive than most of the TVs in the modern in the previous eras too.
Yeah,
So
but my little brother plays his PS5 on a fucking monitor because they have high they I don't know if they have like the 144 hertz display shit, but you know what
yeah,
I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. No, I
because
get.
what's the difference
They don't
between
make
a
they don't make
monitor and a
TVs.
TV?
They don't make TVs at the high level of refresh. They do make them. They do make TVs at that high level of refresh rate, but they're so expensive.
Yeah.
Oh my Jesus Christ!
So it's one of those things where right now, especially right now, with fucking Nvidia going crazy and the market going crazy, I don't know how that's going to affect consoles because that's probably going to affect fucking shit
The
going crazy there. Like,
the
I
the
don't know, dude.
J
I can't.
the
to
J two
recommend someone to get a
cents
PC.
the J two cents conclusion to all this as to why it's happening, and it makes perfect logical sense. It's AI. Because AI and the steps that our government in the United States are taking to invest into AI, that has solidified the trajectory. And this is, I'm paraphrasing J two cents because he didn't say all this, but this is basically solidified the trajectory of what's going to happen to AI and how it relates to PC components, because graphics card is one of the main drivers of AI. They're not being run by super CPUs. No, most AIs are being run off of GPUs. Jesus Christ, Bitcoin mining all over again. But now instead of Bitcoin, we're talking about. I mean, Bitcoin is still a thing, but instead of Bitcoin now being the biggest driver of prices for a graphics card, is now AI, because that's what they're using to, like, these big ass data mining processing centers. They're using graphics cards to process the information because graphics cards are much faster and efficient than CPUs.
And would probably be cheaper to buy than an equivalent thing to do the job
Not only that,
because they're already
you only
being
need
mass
one
produced.
motherboard versus, well, I should say, I mean, let me go. let me, I was gonna say something completely different. You only need one graphics card to actually run the computation. You don't need um uh
An array.
like, so basically you can run an array of 20, 100, 1000 GPUs with one motherboard. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like, you don't need, like, and so, and maybe it used to be that you could figure out how to do this with CPUs, but it's easier just to, just plug in, boop, connected, and mining data with Bitcoin is what kind of led to this conclusion of, like, oh, we can kind of do the same thing.
I just realized something as you were talking about all this. I know why it doesn't hit me the same way. I used to be a part of like car culture, and that's literally what racing parts and all that shit feels like. You want to squeeze in a little something else because you're a little connoisseur and you just want your car to sound a little bit better. But because of the fact that certain racing teams use certain exhaust systems and those sound really good, and everything ends up more expensive because they're fucking using those and demanding the best. It's I just see this as like it's just kind of the way things go.
Are
You just
are car
happen whoever
parts
made
as
go ahead.
monopolized as a graphics card? I know
Fuck
very little.
yes.
I know very little about car parts as far as
For
manufacturing.
good ones and for things that like fit your shit, like there's always the aftermarket, but it's the same whole thing behind, like, would you buy an unmarked unnamed graphics card?
Well, that's what we
Are
do when we
you gonna
buy when we
want
buy because Nvidia doesn't make their graphics card no more. We have to buy it from Asus or MSI or
right,
Gigabyte, or
but
so that's
we
aftermarket technically.
but it's not unmarked.
Okay.
Like you can,
So it's
because
not
like for instance, right,
Chinese.
so
It's not
say
like
right,
overseas.
exactly, you're not getting like a sensor that just
It's
has
not a
no
Temu
info.
version of a 1080. I mean a
Like
1080,
so
5080.
like the because so yeah, there is always like the aftermarket parts, and then you even may find like an aftermarket company that usually does pretty good work, but there's still the prices of things are still going to be dictated by the OEM version of those things.
Okay.
So it'll be cheaper, but it's the difference between paying $100 for something and paying $400 for something is whether it's OEM or not.
I think the what's that word?
And not to mention when you're making like a race machine where everything is like
And your
pretty
life is on the line.
particular,
I mean,
you don't want to use a random no name part. You want to use something with a name that you'll stand beside. And a lot of people are like, yeah, you're just paying for the name. But sometimes that makes you fucking feel better. You got a 2000 horsepower engine that needs to stay in timing, and you're gonna use some fucking cheap Chinese fucking camshafts? Fuck no. Like,
well, I mean, yeah, but no, I get that concept. Uh, I think the gravity of the fact that you're driving this machine at 200 miles an hour, I think also comes into play. Like, now, if you're gonna go and take that step, you want to make sure that at least it's the one
good
that
shit.
will not blow up.
Yeah, you want
Um,
good shit. Shit better work.
I think now maybe more than ever the fact that a lot of graphics card are undergoing this like pin issue. I'm fucking terrified more than ever right now when it comes to this power issue with the pins and if getting fire and all this bullshit. Like I've been hyperly trying to figure out like what is going on. And a lot of it's kind of like clickbaity kind of bullshit happening, um, but graphics are becoming more and more demanding when it comes to power and then the cores not meeting necessarily being up to specs and all that stuff. It's such a scary time because there's a really high chance that you know, not high. Okay, when I mean high, I mean more like 10%. Like, so it's not like we still got a like 80% chance, 90% chance that none of this is gonna happen to you. But 10% chance of your PC catching fire because the power demands are not what it should be, and you didn't take that extra step to figure out like, oh, in the past that was never a thing. In the past, when your components didn't match with when it comes to wattage or some shit, you just get a blue screen of death, right? That's the worst thing that can happen to your PC when shit didn't line up or things were not compatible. It would run for a little bit and then all of a sudden it's blue screen of death, or the shit don't boot up. That's the worst. Now you gotta legitimately be fucking afraid of it blowing the fuck up or catching fire, right? Because that's the kind of power draws that we're reaching engine levels of power draw and energy. Not there yet. We're still like on a moped kind of, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Shit, it's turned into a whole goddamn episode. See, I was afraid of bringing this in,
Well,
but
we had if it was on your chest, it was on your chest, and we had to talk about
I will
it.
turn this into a bonus episode, I guess. People gonna be like, "Why the fuck are you guys talking about?" There's a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So let's just wrap this up, and then we'll talk to the real meat of things.
All right. Well, if y'all have joined us and liked our little ramble on this little bonus episode that we've been having here, hit a button, come back. Cass, anything else?
Nah, nah, nah. A lot of path stuff.
All right. So back to past stuff we go. Y'all have a good night and enjoy your coffee.
See you.